Nick, Leo DiCaprio, has he cracked the code to dating?
It does seem that way. The headlines, is Leonardo DiCaprio afraid of women over the age of 25? It's not clear whether he's afraid of them, but...
He does want to mask it in his movies, if he
Yeah,
is.
I did. So about the last 8 girls he's been out with, he's got rid of them all before the age of 25. 4 of them were 25. I did some checking here, but the rest were all under 25. So
that's a brilliant graph.
And there's a graph of it now. Yeah, his age keeps going up.
But some of those relationships have lasted 5 years. That's not bad by Hollywood.
But he always gets out in time, and that's the thing. I mean, I sometimes wonder when they hit 25, do they wake up on their birthday? He's just gone. The apartment's gutted. Well, the locks have changed. I don't know how it works.
He calls them Christmas cakes because he doesn't want them after the 25th.
Nice.
Oh, that's very good.
Did you see the tweet as well? Titanic turns 25 this year, at which point I assume Leonardo DiCaprio will no longer want to be in it. That was another good one. It's interesting that
is a good gag.
It's also interesting that he gets out just as they develop a prefrontal cortex. At age 25, the age of rationality.
You've got to ask also, though, to be fair, what is it these young women seeing in the increasingly old Leonardo DiCaprio?
Well, he's a movie star.
Yeah.
Glorious.
He's the movie star, isn't he? This does prove, depressingly for some perhaps, that if a man given ultimate choice and freedom, this is how he'll behave, you know what I mean? Because he's in the ultimate position of choice. And actually what's interesting is, if you follow certain videos on YouTube, the red pill community, they will say, well, this is just when men prefer women because of fertility and evolutionary psychology, in their early 20s.
All right, Andrew Tate.
Well, I've just had to put the argument, whereas The Independent, of course, it says here that it's socially conditioned sexual preferences, and they say that the power dynamic is clear as day. A younger, more insecure and less financially established woman is likely to bend to your will. So in the independent world, it's all power dynamic.
That was definitely written by somebody over 25.
I know some of his... he went out with Giselle Bundchen or something, didn't he, for a while? She was extraordinarily powerful, very, very beautiful, world-famous model.
Broke up at 23.
Yeah.
She didn't even make it to 35. What did she do wrong?
But I think there is, just to be... is this devil's advocate? I do believe this. I think it's more morally acceptable and probably more modern for him to do this openly than to have a so-called marriage and then have a string of mistresses and prostitutes around the back, which would surely have been the attitude of previous movie stars whose marriages,
That's true. He just shouldn't break up with them via ejector seat.
But you're praising his honesty, yeah. But of course, he's in a position where he can just do it. Yeah. Other people would be criticised harshly by the community. Yeah. He can do it because he's Leo.
But we're TV stars. We can do it.
Yeah, we're not quite on this level, but we are doing better.
How many of these women at 25 emerged from the relationship with Leonardo DiCaprio and are treated as soiled goods on Tinder or whatever it is in Hollywood? I very much doubt it has done any harm to their prospects for the next.
Oh, you think it's a bit like the David Beckham video? It even helps them.
Yeah, I think it probably does. Yeah, certainly if they've lasted a couple of years. And also, very reasonably, he's kind of going, you don't want children yet, but if I was to keep going out with you until you were 28, then you would only have 2 years to find the next bloke, and he might not be the right one, and then he splits. Do you know what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
I think it's quite reasonable.
So he wants women to sort of be of fertile age, but definitely not have actual children with him anywhere near.
I bet he holds on to his dogs.